Okay, we're working on a 2012 Kubota. Are you recording? All right, we're working on a 2012 Kubota SVL 90. We had the hydraulic lockout not working, so intermittently the machine would just come to a screeching halt, and originally thought it was the seat switch, but the previous owner had already shunted the seat switch, so it definitely wasn't that. So the next culprit was these proximity switches. However, there was not a lot of information on the internet to say exactly what was going on in terms of how to bypass these or how to test them. So I wanted to pass along that information because that's the most useful thing. So first and foremost, the question is, since it's transistor based, it's a 3-wire transistor based, is it syncing or sourcing, right? So syncing meaning it's sending power or basically giving a ground signal to the computer, or sourcing sending a power signal back to the computer. And you don't want to mess those up because you could break something. And I couldn't find information on that, so I'll tell you how I did it. So going to the sensor, we have a black wire, a green wire, and a white wire. So what I did to determine which one was the ground is I just took my multimeter, put it on some unpainted metal, and then found out that the black wire is the ground. So just looking for continuity between any ground source and the black wire, so it was the ground. Then the next question is, which is the hot lead, right? So the positive 12 volts. So what I did there is I put my multimeter on voltage, left it on the same unpainted piece of metal, and with the machine powered on, not running, I checked to see which pin was giving me a plus 12 voltage, and that turned out, or which wire, and that turned out to be the white wire. So that leaves the last wire, the green wire, as the signal wire. So now the only question is, well, is it sourcing or syncing? So what I did is I put the sensor, again, we didn't know which one was bad, but I put one of the sensors into the circuit, turned the machine on, and then you back probed the signal wire and looked for voltage between, again, that grounded source and looking for voltage, determining. So if it stayed at 0, then it would be syncing. In this case, it didn't. When I waved some metal between the sensor and in front of the sensor, it went to the one that was working went to positive 12 volts. So that told me that it was a sourcing sensor. So from that point, then it was just a matter just to test that scenario. Is I jumpered from the green wire, which is the signal wire, to the white wire, which is the plus 12 on both of these, on both of the safety switches, and fired the machine up, and the hydraulics worked. So figured I'd pass along that knowledge. The point here is that it's a sourcing transformer based switch, and the green wire is the signal and the white wire is the plus 12 on a 2012 SVL 90.